Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships. And today I want to talk about the Oregon, the Tier 10 experimental American battleship, essentially a Tier 9 Georgia, but at Tier 10 with gimmicks. Recently, Wargaming did another leaderboard. It's still ongoing as this video goes up. There's over 2 days and 20 hours at the moment of me speaking this, and I have this video uploaded just by an hour after having done my commentary on this video. But basically, Wargaming is giving away some free stuff depending on how well you possibly place in playing Oregon and getting the most damage in a battle and playing in randoms battles. So you do need to click the participate button in the armory. So if you go to the armory on your feature tab, go to the third one down, and then when you click open the leaderboard, then there'll be an orange button participate in the top left. Even if you just play Oregon once and participate and you're not interested to try to get the most damage or whatever, you'll still get 40,000 Elite Commander XP. So it's worth it in that regard if you already have the ship. Otherwise, depending on what position you place, you can either earn the Johnston, the Tier 9 American Infamous Destroyer in positions 1 through 25. You can get 30,000 coal if you land between 26 and 50. And if you're between 51 and 100, you get 10,000 coal. So I initially placed 28th, and then since I've dropped down to 58, because to break into the top 25, you need, at the moment of this recording, you need over 30,800 damage. So I'll probably maybe work on it more today or Monday, not sure yet. But anyhow, let's talk about Oregon a little bit. And, you know, with these leaderboard experiences, what you're seeking is kind of a team that is okay. Like, you don't want a team that's great. You don't want one that's absolutely miserable. You kind of want a team that maybe performs just beneath average, so then that you can shine and get more of the damage, so to speak, in your Tier 10 American battleship, being the Oregon. So that's kind of fundamentally how that works out. I mean, the fact that we managed to land an arms race is a very huge help. You'll see how it picks up even later. I'll go and put my build on the top left of the screen here. I'm also running Halsey as my commander, so if we manage to pick up something like Confederate, we're going to have an even faster main battery reload time with these 6 457s. Now, one of the things that's very gimmicky about this boat is, of course, you get the burst fire consumable. So you get these limited AP shells that basically they have improved ballistics with penetration, reduced possibility of ricocheting, and they have a shortened shell fuse time. So you have less chance of overmatching like light cruisers. Like I did lots of damage to Brisbane, and he healed up a lot, but then I got a dev strike on him just because of having that shortened shell fuse time. So they do a lot of damage, and I think the shell velocity is a lot faster than that of the standard AP. So you kind of have this gimmick around the main battery in terms of how it plays. To be honest, there's a mix of people who like Oregon a lot, like myself, and people who also despise Oregon. And that's really because the ship is somewhat uncomfortable to play, depending on how you approach it. So the mentality with the Oregon is that this battleship is really designed to fight mid-range, right? Because you have the burst fire gimmick, which was it 12.5, I think, when you activate it? I can't remember off the top of my head. You have this burst fire gimmick, and you want to be at the mid-range, and also for the fact that you want to be playing Oregon with limited hit points. To be honest, you never want to fully heal up on Oregon, and that's one of the reasons why I think players end up they don't like Oregon, because one of the things that Oregon made very gimmicky about the boat is as you lose hit points, you have certain ship parameters that are improved, and I just had it up on the bloody screen and now it's gone. So basically you start off with limited amount of hit points, where you have a main battery reload time of -15% and a main battery shell dispersion of -23%. So when you heal up, you lose the main battery reload time, you lose the main battery shell dispersion, which means you're getting, basically like, Georgia, for those of you who perhaps have the ship or don't have the ship, I'll explain. Like Georgia is very trollish with her main battery because it's not super accurate. And so it's not the sniping battleship. Like Georgia is meant to be played in mid-range. And also that Georgia has exceptional secondaries, which I think Oregon gets the same secondaries if I recall. But if you go for the secondary build, I don't. I do a little bit of a hybrid, but more focus on the main battery and survivability of the ship. So basically you get this Oregon that's like Georgia, but it's really meant to be played with not utilizing your hit points up fully. Like the only reason why, even in this instance, when you do want to heal up, you're healing up because you're about to take on a brawl, you're about to take on a fight, and you want to have more hit points in your bank account and then try to have your next repair party ready. So like with Oregon, you get a 60-second cooldown time on the repair party, but because of the build I'm running, as I get potential damage, my reload consumable preparation time is coming off cooldown faster, and then also I'm running November Foxtrot, and was there something else? So I'm trying to take certain skills that will help my repair party come off cooldown faster, and if we get over 2 million potential damage, then I'll get another heal, because you start off with 6 heals in total if you go for the full heal route, and you'll get a 7th heal if you proctor is it improved? I don't remember what it's called. It's hard to remember everything in this game. Anyhow, your heals will come out. You'll get another heal. So here we're taking on this fight with the GK. And I'm going to end up playing a bit selfish here. I don't advise this if you're trying to go for wins. So I'm doing a mix between I'm shooting the GK, and then I'm also going to be shooting the Schlieffen. The Schlieffen has a much more vulnerable Citadel broadside than GK does, because GK has this massive turtleback armor scheme, where like you saw at the beginning of this video, like we Citadel the Schlieffen. So I'm waiting for him to come out, and I want to make sure to try to get these shots off before he's able to kind of like really angle in. And I've now used all my limited AP shells up. And we see 23,000 damage roughly there, 22,000. But it would have been, for my health hit point wise, it would have been wiser for me to just focus the GK. But at the same time, I didn't want to be so angled to get all my 6 guns on GK that Schlieffen would be able to fire her 8 420s into the broadside or whatever. So I'm going to be utilizing, we've already burned through a heal. Now I've got my damage control party, and I have the special upgrade of the damage control party, which means I think we get close. It's like over a 30-second action time on that consumable. So like they're not going to be setting fires on me as long as that's active, as their secondaries kind of rip me a new one, if you will. Now I'm just going to focus the Schlieffen and hopes for my team polishes off the GK there. We get the Schlieffen really low, and now it's just a matter of me surviving. I don't want to run into the border and just go full-on broadside to Schlieffen, because I want to try to stay angled and make it more difficult, maybe for him to get the kill shot off on me. And I'm going to burst fire here again, just because there's no other target for me to shoot. I don't mind the long reload time, and I really need Schlieffen to die as soon as possible, and I can't risk him living through the one salvo of only 6 457s, so we're going to give him 12 457s. And we've got our, our other heal was going while our damage control party is going off cooldown, and I'm also trying to be mindful of torps. So we actually did decently okay there, despite we lost a lot of hit points, but we have over 2.4 million potential damage now, so we got the other heal that we needed, which is why that repair, what is the name of that skill? It's going to drive me crazy. I'll pull it up here while I'm talking. So you really need that, in my opinion, because how the ship plays. Like the other part of like how this ship is, you have players who really mixed reaction to it, is to get the most out of the ship. As of my earlier point, you start off with limited hit points, so you have better accuracy dispersion with your main battery guns. And when battleship players or carrier players or destroyer players, they see you already at a lower hit point pool, the monkey brain is basically shoot the target that's already has less hit points. So then you are more likely to get targeted than other of your compatriots on the flank with you. So the early gameplay is really important with Oregon because of that. Like, you don't just want to go barreling in while you're only like less than half health, right? And then you're like, oh, like you died, right? Even though I played a game the other day where I yellowed up a flank with Oregon. I was trying to finish off a Jaeger, and I actually would have had him, but then I forgot that. Or does it have a heal? I forget it. Improved repair party readiness. That's the skill I was thinking of. But I had a stupid Jaeger, and I think Jaegers get heals. Let me double check. I could be wrong. Sometimes, no, it has a heal, so I didn't get him, but I killed the North Carolina, and I had a player really salty with me, but the game was already lost because I was the only one. Me and one other player killed a ship. Rest of the team completely just died without any kills. So that's kind of the conundrum that you find yourself with Oregon, and it makes it honestly a bit more challenging to me in a good way if I'm trying to be honestly a sweaty tryhard, that I'm doing this leaderboard thing and I'm trying to break into the top 25, because honestly I would like to have Johnston. It's a really cool ship historically, in my historical nerdness and whatnot. So I'm really pumped for it. So then the question becomes, when you have these different type of leaderboard events, you know, you're looking for, again, you have to really understand your ship, like what's the strengths, what's the weaknesses. On the other hand, you also need to have a team that's okay, maybe a little below average, and then enemy team is slightly better, giving you more opportunity to farm enemy team. Like, part of the reason why I didn't finish off that GK earlier is I was hoping he would get a heal off, right? And I get to farm him for more damage. So I was actually pretty excited that I was going to be brawling 2 battleships there, as long as I played it smart and didn't give a lot of broadside. It gives me more opportunity to farm the damage I need. So I'm at 203,000 damage. You know, now we have a... shoot, I don't remember. We'll see the cruiser here. I forget which one it was. And then there's another enemy Oregon, and then there's the United States, which I'm going to talk about the United States with the whole interaction here at the end of the battle, because it's just dumb. You know, CVs and submarines, you know, the most busted protected classes in the game that are so historically inaccurate and full of gimmicks and magic pixie dust. Anyhow, that being said, I need to help out my San Martin. He's being focused by the CV, and Oregon's going to start opening up with 457s, which means that San Martin is easily overmatched as a light cruiser, but he has an amazing heal. It was a Utrecht, yeah. So now I have to be mindful that I really need to get the Utrecht gone, because I can't just allow him to farm me for a lot of damage and setting fires, dropping airstrikes on me consistently. Like, he has to go, and he does. We get the Citadel we need, and then I'm going to shift focus back to the Oregon. Now, in the meantime, the other third factor that's really helping us out here is the fact that we're in arms race. So we're getting fast reload time. We have only 1 heal ticking. We don't have 3, unfortunately, but we have a heal ticking. So all these things are helping this be much more unrealistic gameplay. Like, there's some people who've already gotten, there's 3 people actually who've gotten over 400,000 damage in Oregon, and I'm guessing they probably were also in an arms race, maybe not, because it's really hard to pump out that much damage. Like, you just have to, basically the enemy team has to be feeding themselves for you. But at the same time, it does take skill in terms of how are you positioning. So we got the Confederate, we got the high caliber, and we have Halsey, so you saw the fireworks. So now we have, like, I think it's like our 16-second reload time. I'll try to pay attention when I fire here. No, it's like a 12-second reload time with the reload buffs as well. Yeah, I'll watch this again. I'm just looking at the main battery reload time. Yeah, so a 12-second reload time on Oregon, and we maybe just dropped beneath 11 seconds. And I've been keeping this other heal in reserve till I've needed it, like the CV's coming in on me, and I know I'm going to need to do whatever I can. I want to go more broadside to the United States, but I need to be angled to Oregon, so that just sucks. Now, this is what I'm really pissed off about right here. So this carrier, his planes go away on the minimap now. Okay. In less than 10 seconds, I think it's like 8 or 9 seconds, he's already back 12 kilometers away with us with the tactical rocket planes that you can, that's a consumable based plane. And by the time my AA opens up, it's a 5.8 AA range. My AA doesn't open up to 4.5. And my reaction time to seeing him at 12 kilometers away from me being able to turn out and him getting a strike off was like, I think 11 or 12 seconds, because those planes can fly at 340 knots. And you might be like, well, historically speaking, those planes could fly really fast. Yeah, but historically speaking, if a battleship is that close to your aircraft carrier, you have like royally effed up, right? It was these really far away. You know, he was 23 kilometers away, and he's already back on us instantly with the consumable-based tactical rockets. So it was just like there was nothing I could do there, right? Besides get the buffs, maybe see if I could get the cap, but I really doubted I was going to be able to get the cap. So super annoying and really frustrating. I hate how Wargaming have developed the super CVs in the game, because what ends up happening in these last dying minutes, or minutes of these random battles, is that it ends up just becoming super CV versus super CV, and then you're just at the mercy of the super CV on the enemy team, who either is really good or complete crap with no in between. Like, that's all that you get out of there. So leaderboard, 262,000 damage. We tanked almost 3 million potential damage. Probably wouldn't have been, maybe closer to 2.5, just because we had the passive heal ticking, perhaps. But there's just really nothing you can do. You know, it's like, maybe if I didn't know he was going to launch the tactical rocket planes that go 340 knots, and I don't know if you can even build into them to make them technically faster, if there's a skill for that or something. Like, I just have a hard time remembering everything in the game. So his max speed is 340, his cruising speed is 170 knots with those tactical rocket planes, right? And then, so he flies into my AA. Let's remind myself, what's the Oregon's AA? AA defense. Yes, tell me the range of the AA defense. Yeah, 5.8, right? My AA doesn't decide to open up to 4.5. Once the rocket planes commence their attack, his planes become invulnerable to my AA. Like, you're just royally effed in that situation. Like, that's really all there is. But San Martin did great. I was like, maybe he needs to go for the cap, but he did the best play because the CV was just coming back on the island and he was going to hide behind it. So the CV was distracted other CV because he didn't think the San Martin was coming back for him. So that worked out like perfectly. So yeah, 262,000 damage with the expert efficiency badge with Confederate and high caliber with the 4 destroyed. We only shot down 6 planes despite being like focused there pretty hard by the planes at the end, because it's like, can't destroy planes that go invulnerable. We have the damage layout here. So we took 184,000 damage. The bombs and rockets did over 20k. I think the CV only struck us twice there at the end, if I remember correctly. So it's just like really not much we were going to be able to do at the end there. But a good use of the armor piercing with the high explosive. We got some only 5,000 damage with secondary battery. Like, I do take the secondary map upgrade in the 3rd slot just to get the range out. It kind of helped us a little bit there with the Schlieffen and GK at the end. So I'm just trying to increase a little bit more of the damage farming potential there. But as you saw my build there, it's kind of more focused on the survivability of the ship, with more of a focus on survivability, but then also the main battery build. That's how I kind of have been playing. Oregon, like Halsey Commander, is the exact same as I have on my Wisconsin. So all in all, like, good stuff. It's been fun playing in this, but I was having more luck on Friday. I had a game where I did 242,000 damage, and I went to check the leaderboard, and I forgot I didn't click the participate button because, got to do that. And then 2 battles later, I had this battle at 262k, and then Saturday was this kind of a crap show. I think I've only touched 200k like once or twice on Saturday. So a little bit harder to reach up to the 300k, maybe easier today or Monday, I don't know, a weekday, because weekend be weekend in World of Warships. So with that being said, I hope you like this leaderboard video with Oregon today. kind of talking through the battle, talking through the ship, and just kind of the 3 things you need basically is, I mean, I guess before the battle even starts, like you need to understand what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses of your ship. Secondly, you need, if you're going to be going farming lots of damage, you have to have a team that's not fantastic. Like your team needs to be kind of meh, rather than just steamrolling the enemy team off the bat. Enemy team probably needs to be a little bit more skilled than your team. Third is, here we have arms race that's impacting us. So that helped us increase our damage per minute output effectively, and also with Halsey and Confederate going, with the buffs, those all things very much helped us. And then the 4th thing I was about to say that I just forgot as it slipped in my head, is just try to switch your targets between different ships. Like if you're farming a battleship, like let the battleship heal up and focus on another target if you're in control of the situation, and then switch back focus to him. So that's why you have like Conquerors and Devastation players that have lots of damage, because they're just farming. So you have to have a farming mentality also with Oregon as well, with the leaderboard. And the next leaderboard, I think they're doing it with the tier 10 Italian cruiser, the new experimental one, soon perhaps. So I hope those things kind of help you out here. With that being said, if you liked this video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you subscribe, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. And until next time, take care.